Welcome to our docudrama. As an IRS auditor, my job is to verify the statements made on filed income tax returns. Before we look at your client's records, I have a few standard questions. Is that okay?
Certainly. As the representative for the taxpayer, my job will be to provide you information that supports the return that was filed, and to protect his rights. Let's get started.
Does Mr. Johnson engage in any bartering? Trading services with others that should be recorded as sales?
No.
Does Mr. Johnson maintain any foreign bank accounts?
No.
Does Mr. Johnson have a valid passport?
I have no idea. What bearing is that on the return he filed?
Let's move on. In your preparation for this audit, did you discover any unreported income?
No.
So there were no off-book sales or cash sales that weren't reported on his return?
No.
And he hasn't taken that unreported income to a foreign country and deposited in a secret bank account?
Was that a question or an indictment?
Don't get excited. I'm just following procedure. So you don't know what country he's hiding his big pile of cash in? Can you explain what is in the bag in this picture?
I think we were done here today. It looks like his Little League coaching bag. Where did you get this picture?
Let me put that away. No need to get excited, let's move on. Does Mr. Johnson operate any other businesses?
Not that I am aware of.
So this statement from his company website, serving all your needs, is false advertising?
Again, we are prepared today to discuss the income tax return that is being audited. What is the matter with you? What are you writing there?
Nothing. It is not important. Did Mr. Johnson pay for the preparation of this income tax return? How was the fee calculated?
Yes, there was a fee paid for preparation, and our fee structure is a combination of time and tax schedules included in the final return.
Does your firm charge based on a percentage of the income you hide for your clients or a piece of the refund you generate by claiming false deductions?
What is your supervisor's name? How long have you worked for the service? Did your mother abandon you as a child?
So the statement on your firm's website about sharing in your client's success isn't true?
Seriously? You are way out of line. Get your things and go.
I'm sorry, that came out wrong. Let's move on.
What are you writing now?
Nothing important. Does Mr. Johnson use a car in his business?
Finally. Yes, you will see here that Mr. Johnson's business leases a late-model Mercedes that he drives for business.
Wow. That's a really nice car. I drive a 9-year-old Chevy. It will need a new transmission soon.
Here are the consult checks, payment records, lease agreement, and mileage log to show business use.
Does Mr. Johnson have any physical restrictions that require him to have leather upholstery or a 6-speaker surround sound stereo? Man, that's a sweet ride. Couldn't he use a 9-year-old Chevy to drive for business?
What? I don't know. No. What does that matter?
Then I will have to disallow the deduction.
Why? All of the records are right here and everything ties out to the penny with the tax return we filed.
This is a flagrant disregard for the income tax code. It is not necessary that he drive such a fancy car. He is a show-off. I knew a guy like that in high school. I drive a 9-year-old Chevy and it does just fine, except I will need a new transmission soon. So I am not allowing the deduction because it is not usual and necessary. Why doesn't he take the bus?
You must not have completed your training. Or maybe you were dropped on your head when you were a baby. Your supervisor will not be happy when I call her.
Hey. You are the one who put that deduction on the return, not me. What kind of car do you drive, anyway? Did I tell you about my old Chevy? Let's talk about the meals and entertainment expenses he is trying to deduct. What about this one specifically?
From the notes on the back of the receipt and the contemporaneously made comments in his calendar, it appears this was a meeting with a client on Wednesday, June 7th for lunch to discuss a new product offering.
Great. All I need to complete my notes is a notarized letter from the food server and the restaurant manager that they overheard real business being discussed. Otherwise, I will need to disallow the deduction.
On what planet? We have demonstrated the amount of the expense, the proof of payment, and the business purpose of the deduction. That is the burden of proof the Revenue Code requires.
Does Mr. Johnson take you with him when he flies first class to Switzerland to deposit large bags of unreported income as his secret bank accounts? Did you know he cheats at golf?
Here, let me give you a business card for City Auto Glass.
Is this the client Mr. Johnson took to lunch?
No. These are the people you will need to call to replace all of the broken windows in your POS Chevy.
I told you. My transmission is slipping. My windows are fine. Where are you going?
To get my baseball bat, and then down to the parking lot to find your Chevy.